Hello everyone and welcome back to Critical Build. So today we're going to be going over the Genie Paladin, which is the Unearthed Arcana. So technically this is not 100% real yet. I mean, it's in beta test. That's basically what Unearthed Arcana is, but I thought it'd be really cool to do a build on this new Genie Paladin because it's actually a really good Paladin subclass. It's mainly a defensive subclass, so I will be making my first tank build on this channel. Well, purely tank build. Of course, most of my builds have a lot of built-in tankiness and protection, but this build's gonna be focused just on mostly tanking for the most part. So, let's go into the build. So, level 1, we're going to be a turtle. I'll explain more why we're going to be a turtle once we get to the Paladin subclass, but trust me, it's going to make sense. So our natural armor is 17, and with the shield, we're starting off at a 19 AC, which is cracked for level 1. That's pretty much the reason you do turtle, is for this ridiculous AC. You get this shell defense. You're never going to use this. Basically, you go into a shell and you can't do anything. Give +4 to AC and advantage on these saves, but you'd have to be desperate to do that. At least you can hold your breath for an hour, so that's pretty cool. You can do you get Nature's Intuition, which you can choose one of your a skill. Go Persuasion or whatever you want. You get Claws. You're never going to use them. Background, we're going to go, of course, we're going to do Magic Initiate Shillelagh. This build's going to be a quarterstaff and a shield. So we don't even need to go into Warlock, which is crazy. I know every Paladin I do goes into 1-level Warlock, but this one doesn't. We can just use Shillelagh and use a quarterstaff or a club, whatever you want. So pick your favorite. Level 1 here, we're going to pick both the quarterstaff and the club because those are the only two weapons you'll be able to utilize with this build. So pick your favorite. And then for spell casting at level 1, we're going to get access to a bunch of spells. Remember, we're a paladin, so we can prepare whatever we want. So make sure to get like Shield of Faith and Bless. And I just realized I forgot to write the stats down. Yep. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. I just did something in the wrong order. But so the two spells that I'm going to highly recommend that we're going to be using our concentration on pretty much for the whole build, it's got Bless and Shield of Faith. Bless is amazing, and assuming you have a party of 4, once you get the second level spells, you can bless the whole party, and people have summons, and you can upcast the third later on. Bless is going to be your best spell to really utilize as a tank build. Or if you really need more AC, you can do Shield of Faith. Those are going to be your two best options when it comes to your spells. Then, of course, we're going to get Lay on Hands, 5 per Paladin level, which will come in handy for some healing. And remember, 2024, we can do this as a bonus action now, so that's really good. And yeah, make sure you get a quarterstaff, club, and a shield. You don't need any armor with this build, which is really cool. So you won't have to have disadvantage on stealth, but in our stats, we're going to have a low dex, so you probably won't do too well sneaking around anyways. But yeah, we're also going to have Goodberry, so another great healing option. Something to note here with our background, of course, we're going to take Guidance and Shillelagh as a cantrips, no-brainer. When it comes to the first level spell, eventually we will get access to Absorb Elements, but if you do not want to wait until character level 7 to get access to Absorb Elements, you could take it now, but I think it's better to take Goodberry. It's a great out of combat healing spell. We're a tank. We want to be able to make sure we heal the little damage that we do take, and potentially heal our allies. And yeah, attack ability scores is going to be 13 strength. What's great is strength does not matter with this build, like whatsoever. You're not even wearing plate or heavy armor, so you won't even get a move penalty, but we're going to be on the horse later anyways, so it doesn't matter. 9 dex, 14 con, 13 int, so you probably know what's happening here, but we'll get to it. 10 wisdom and 17 charisma, of course. So we're very tanky and everything's great. Paladin level 2, I'm going to highly recommend either blind fighting or dueling. Actually right now I'm thinking of it, interception. Interception might also be a good one. They buffed it, if I remember correctly. How this works is you utilize your reaction and then your ally next to you, everyone that one enemy has disadvantage to hit an ally next to you. So if you have like a melee DPS next to you, interception could be used to protect your ally. But in the end of the day, you're still a paladin, so you could do decent damage. You're gonna have 2 attacks. Dueling is very good, and also blind fighting could be really good if you for invisible creatures or just in general. So pick your favorite here. I would probably, if I was doing this, even though I'd be playing a tank build if I did this, I'd probably still pick dueling. I like to do damage. Who doesn't? And we get one free divine smite per day, auto prepared, so we don't have to waste that preparation slot on divine smite anymore. And just like all the smite spells, they're all bonus actions. There will be no, but your bonus slot slots should always be open. So you eventually, when we have a lot of spell slots, and you want to contribute some damage, divine smite's going to be the way to do so. All right, let's go into the whole point of this build. The new subclass will potentially come. Oh, it will come out, but it might not be exactly the way it looks here because at the end of the day, it's in beta, and they want to hear people's feedback. But this is a very strong subclass, Oath of the Noble Genie. So first thing we get is that our channel divinity is based on casting divine smite. So that's another reason why I was saying that we're going to keep our bonus slots open mostly, so we could when we utilize divine smite and in turn utilize our channel divinities. What do we get as channel divinities? These are we get grapple and restrain, which could be really cool if you want to restrain enemies and lock them down. You're a tank. If for some reason you need to Misty Step or teleport, you can use Jin's Escape, teleport 30 feet, and gain immunity to grapple, prone, and restrain. You could, if you want to do some damage, and you're sure they're not resistant, extra damage, of course, because remember, you're still doing Divine Smite damage, you can do an extra 2d4. Or you could push and knock an enemy prone with this ability here. So you have a lot of options you can do whenever you Divine Smite, and it's really good. So let's talk about why we're not wearing any armor. So Genie Splendor, this is just a passive feat you always have if you're not wearing medium or heavy armor. So technically you could be wearing light armor. You can add your charisma modifier to your AC. So there's 2 ways you can utilize this build. One, just taking Turtle and not having to worry about Dex, or making a Dexident. But the problem with making a Dexident is you would have to stay as a Paladin, because then you can't multi-class out of a Paladin, assuming you're going to put your you're not going to want to put 13 into your strength. If, however, you were just going to do a 1 through 20 Genie Paladin, which you could, I wouldn't recommend it, because you get so much more for multi-classing out, and the level 15 features is not good in my opinion, but whatever. We'll get there or get there. I think Turtle is going to be your best bet. So because in order to get to that 17 AC that the Turtle has, with a Dex bonus and light armor, remember you can only wear light armor, and light armor basically just studded leather, for example, is 12. So you need to have a 20 Dex to get to a 17 AC that the Turtle just has for being a Turtle. I think it's just better. And in this build, you get built-in flying, so you don't even have to take a flying race. In my opinion, this build is just made for the Turtle. Genie Paladin, I should have called it Turtle Paladin. Okay, now going into level 3. So now we have a passive +3 to our AC with the +2 shield and the 17 base AC from the Turtle. We now have a 22 AC with 24 if we want to use Shield of Faith instead of Bless. This is a very, very tanky build. Bonus skill proficiency you get at this level. You probably would have all the charisma skills, so only thing left would be acrobatics. I would hold off on a charisma skill and just choose it here. Honestly, I'll write that down. Bonus skill proficiency, hold off on a charisma skill, and then choose it here. Bonus spells from the Genie list. We get Chromatic Orb, Elementalism, Thunderous Smite, auto prepared. I don't know if we'll be using any of these, and whatever. And you get some more spells later on as you level up in the Genie class. Level 4 Paladin, we get a feat ASI. With this build, we're not playing an elf, so we're not getting elven accuracy. So I'm going to recommend Warcaster. We're going to be concentrating on spells, and we don't want to lose concentration, so having advantage on that. And Later on, we will get access to Booming Blade. So being able to use opportunity attack as Booming Blade. And remember, we're a tank, and they're going to be not. They're not going to be able to hit us at the 22 to 24 AC. They're going to try to leave our range, and then boom, we hit them with a Booming Blade, and maybe even Divine Smite on that. And if they move, boom, take the Booming Blade damage. This is great for this build. Final stats. Now we have an 18 Charisma. Playstyle, same thing. AC 23. Now our AC got bumped with our Charisma, so now we have 23 to 24 AC. Bless for Shield of Faith. Pick your favorite. And Divine Smite with Channel Divinities, great, and Opportunity Attacks. Level 5. Level 5 is really big for this build because we get Faithful Steed. People sleep on this damn steed, but I'm telling you, when having 120 feet of movement for free is really good. And if you're worried that your steed's going to die, just cast Warding Bond on it. Warding Bond will share the damage between you and your steed, and eventually we're going to be getting higher level spell slots, so we can upcast the steed and have it more HP, and then we can use Aid. We get Aid, it's good, but we only have second level spell slots, we're not a full caster, so we won't be able to highly really utilize this. This is the spell that every paladin, no matter what, is going to be wanting to focus on. Every boss fight, you want to save your second level spell slots to cast a Shining Smite on the boss. We can do decent damage, but our allies hopefully will be able to do more damage since this build is not focused on doing damage, it's more focused on tanking. And so casting Divine Smite, well, basically attempting to hit the target, hopefully. Hit the target, putting a Shining Smite on them grants everyone advantage on that one target for a whole minute, the whole combat. Come on, not going more than 10 turns. Including yourself. It's just Shining Smite is such a really good spell. I know everyone's shitting on the new Paladin, but for the most part, Paladin just got buffed, except for Divine Smite being a bonus action and pretty much hard cap once per turn. If Wizards of the Coast would have made Divine Smite just a once per turn ability, where it says like you can only use Divine Smite once per turn instead of making a bonus action, I think everyone would have been happy, and Paladins would have been significantly buffed. But because of that, eating your bonus action up for Divine Smite does suck. But this Shining Smite is so worth a bonus action. So we only have so many second level spell slots at this level. I think 1 or 2. So I would say Shining Smite for the big boss. We're gonna remember. I guess I haven't said this, but spam cast Shillelagh. It's a cantrip. You can just spam it as long as you want. You don't have to waste your first turn of combat to use your bonus action to cast Shillelagh on yourself. Just spam cast it, and any single time you think combat's gonna happen, use Bless. And if for some reason you get surprised or whatnot, Shield of Faith is probably going to be your best bet since the bonus action cast. Using a whole action for Bless may not be optimal, but at the same time it could be, because Bless is so good, especially now next level when we get Aura Protection. Bless with Aura Protection just really, really protects your party. Of course, always Smite on crits and Shiny Smite the boss, like I said. Paladin 6. Now we get a +4 to all of our saves, which will scale when we get it eventually, which is amazing. Debuff. Sorry, I don't know. I probably meant anti-buff, like buff machine. But yeah, you get you and your allies within 10 feet now get a +4 to all your saves. Eventually, we will be a +5. Combining that with Bless, on average, a +6. Crazy. Bless is so good, and Bless is so good. And now let's talk about the next feature we're going to get here from Genie, and the last feature, because I'm not going to 15 with Genie. So not worth it. I forgot what the feature is, to be honest, but I just looked at it and said this is not worth 15 levels for me. So we're going to get Aura of Elemental Shielding. So just as a passive thing, you can, every single round with no action required, you can just say, everyone in my aura is resistant to lightning, thunder, fire, cold, or acid. That right there is amazing. You're fighting a red dragon, fire. We're fighting a cold white dragon, cold, etc. This feature is so good. So, yep. And then we're gonna take our last level of Paladin. Sorry, I spoiled it there. And we're just to cap out our charisma. I feel like you could dip out of Paladin right now at level 7 and come back and get this later on, but I feel like getting that 20 charisma right now instead of waiting 4 more levels is so worth it. Buffing our AC passively, our aura protection, potentially stronger smites if you're using any ones with save DCs. I feel like it's just worth it to get this level here, but you could wait. And once we get to level, if we're gonna go to level 20, once we get there, I'll tell you why you should wait on this if you're going to level 20. Now at 9, nothing's. We're going to be going into Wizard. Why Wizard? Because we want to get a subclass. Right now we have AC like no one's business. At level 8 with 24 to 26 AC, no one's hitting us. Well, now going into Wizard will get us the shield spell, which now effectively gets our AC to 29 and 31 with Shield of Faith. That is crazy. And then we can have absorb elements for whenever they want to cast fireball or whatever, and somehow we don't make the saving throw with a +5 to all of our saves, and if we have bless up, potential +7 on average, was adding D4, so +2 on average. So yeah, these two spells right here are going to make us even more tankier. Yes, I could have got this for another class, but we'll get to why Wizard. We're going Wizard specifically. Get some cantrips, a Blade Ward, Fireball, True Strike. You can get Booming Blade too here, but True Strike mostly because Booming Blade would use our strength. So True Strike's probably going to be better. But if an enemy is low on HP and they're running away, Booming Blade could be a better option, especially if there's Shining Smite on them and the boss is trying to get away. Now we can get Find Familiar. This is another reason for Wizard only. This will give us a familiar, so now our first attack can at least have advantage, and hopefully we can hit and apply Shining Smite to our boss enemy. Featherfall will be great if you're falling and you need a reaction to not take fall damage, and then of course Silvery Barbs, use it whenever someone rolls a crit on you, because that's the only way they're hitting. All right, Wizard 2, nothing. If you get this far in the build, when building your character, make sure to pick Arcana or History somewhere, and then I would because you need, how this feature works is you gain expertise in a wizard's int skill. So you need to have proficiency in that skill. So somehow through your background or with a custom background, get Arcana or History. Arcana is everywhere, and so is History. Investigation too, if you're like a loot goblin like me. So let's talk about the real reason we went Wizard. Yeah, Find Familiar is great, but we went here for War Magic subclass. This subclass gives us a feature called Arcane Deflection. This is a this is a feature we can use every single round. So at the moment with Bless, we have a +7 to saves. Yes, with a +7 is great, but you still fail some saves. So let's add a +4 to that. Arcane Deflection now can give us a +4 to all saving throws if we fail for the round, or is it, it's just if you fail the saving throw, you get that a +4 to it. So Arcane Deflection can help us make a save, and eventually later on we'll get another way to increase our saving throws. So yeah, this is so worth it to get this, and with Tactical Wit, we get to get an initiative bump, which is kind of nice. We kind of need that with a -1 dex. So yeah. Now going on to level 12. Yes, another multi-class. We're going to be going into Bard. So even though right now we have a passive 26 AC, I feel like that's wrong. Passive 26 AC with Arcane Deflection. Sorry. So we have a passive 24 AC. If we want to utilize our reaction passively, which we have every single round, that's 26 AC, and then 28 with Shield of Faith, and then that's wrong, and then 32 with Shield Reaction. Silvery Barbs for crits. Absorb Elements and War Magic will make you pretty much be able to take very little elemental damage in conjunction with our passive resistance. So hypothetically, we get blasted with a fire breath from a dragon, we would then passively have resistance to fire, and then if we make the save, it's a +2, half again. And then if for some reason you need to take even less damage, you can just absorb elements and take half again, which is crazy. But yeah, let's go now in level 12. If you're still going in the campaign, we're gonna go Bard. Why Bard? Well, you'll see when we get to the subclass. Pick whatever you want. This doesn't matter. Healing Word is probably the best first level spell you can pick. There's some other spells you can pick, maybe Detect Magic, Charm Person, whatever. It doesn't matter. Bard 2 doesn't matter. You get expertise in Persuasion, Deception. You have a 20 charisma. Jack of all trades, kind of nice. Yeah, you probably thought we're going to be going Valor Bard, but now we're going College of Swords, the old College of Swords. So if we took Interception or Blind Fighting above, then we take Dueling here, and we can have both. You cannot. I I think Paladins are stuck with their fighting style, but if not, just swap out. Um, but we're here for Blade Flourish. What does Blade Flourish do? So, people were hoping that Swords Bard was the one that would be getting the update, not Valor Bard. But, Valor Bard is now on average better than Swords Bard. But the thing that Swords Bard has is just really cool is being able to add using their Bardic Inspiration die to add to their AC. At the moment, it's only a D6, but still. So we have a passive AC of 24. If we use this as a free action, we add a D6, so on average a +4. So with the passive 24, we're at a passive 28 if we utilize this feature, and then we can shield. We could have Shield of Faith. Like this, the AC of this build is crazy. Unfortunately, at the Bard 3, we need to go 2 more levels because our Bardic Inspiration only comes back on a long rest. So we need to get more levels of Bard. And we're going to keep going. There's some second level spells. If you want even more tanking, you can cast Mirror Image on yourself. And Mirror Image got buffed to where they have to hit your AC, which is ridiculously high, and then they roll the dice to see if they hit you or the Mirror Image. Oh. Second level. I skipped some stuff. I don't know what happened here, but basically, I'm sorry about that. Before level 17, we're only at 14 right now. We take 2 more levels of Bard. At fourth level of Bard, we're going to get. So let's write it here for a second. 15th level, we're gonna get a feat. Take Mage Slayer. Mage Slayer is going to give us another way to make our saves once per short rest. Once per short rest, you can auto succeed a Charisma, Wisdom, or Int save. That's what the reason we're taking it. Also, it disadvantage on concentration checks on people concentrating on spells. But then 16th level, 5th level Bard, D8 Inspiration, D8 Bardic dice, and then Bardic Inspiration comes back on a short rest. Sorry about that. And then 3rd level spells, pick your favorite. Nothing matters for this build. Pick your favorite. Hypnotic Pattern, but at level 16, a lot of people are going to be immune to that or won't really work. So sorry about that. But level 17, now we're going to be doing our last multi-class tip. I know. There's a reason for it. Technically, now since we're at level 17, if you really wanted to, you could keep going Bard if you want higher level spells to choose from. But going Sorcerer, in my opinion, there's a reason for it. The main reason is meta magic, but also subclass. So let's keep going to it. We get innate sorcery. So if you want to choose something like Scorching Ray, for example, at sorcerer level 3, when you get access to that, you can then use Scorching Ray at advantage for free and upcast it with all the spell slots you have, because we have up to 8th level spell slots at the end of this build. Okay, pick spells that you didn't get, whatever. And that's wrong. Level 18, we're going to then get Quicken spell, meta magic. Another reason we came here. So, no. So we can cast a spell as a bonus action. So, for example, Bless. If we can't, I know it's so late to get this, but we can Bless up and then still attack on the same turn, which is really good. And then we have 3 options here. I'm going to highly recommend Extend spell, because then you can rest cast 8 at the 8th level, and then have 8 hours worth of plus 40 XP, 40 HP to you and 2 other allies. Yeah. And then you can do it again at 7th level if you have those slots available the night before or something for a big fight. But another reason we're here is for more saving throws, because we have all the AC we can get. So I mean, we could get magic shield, and then we'll get better. But favored by the gods is another reason. We wanted to go to 3 levels of sorcerer. We get access to the cleric spell list, and we get blessing of the favored by the gods, which you add a 2d4 per short rest to any pretty much anything, and we're gonna save it for saving throws. Okay, level 20. So this is where I said if you're on a level 20 and your DM allows you to get 2 epic boon feats, because technically they unlock at level 19, but at the same time it probably wasn't meant for this. But if you were allowed to, then you would have not taken that Paladin 8 at level 8, and then you would have gone immediately into Wizard, and then now you'd go back to Paladin so you can get 2 epic boon feats, getting your Charisma to 22. But I'm going to assume that your DM banned that and either go Sorcerer 4 or Wizard 4. I would probably go Sorcerer 4. That's just me. And then I would pick Boon of Energy Resistance because you want more tankiness, either Boon of Energy Resistance or Boon of Fortitude. And if you're going to get Boon of Energy Resistance, get Necrotic and Psychic. Sucks you don't resist Force on this build, but I feel like you're not hitting you with an potentially AC of 37. So how's it AC of 37? Well, we have a base 19 AC before magic items with our self and the shield, and then we have our Bardic Inspiration. Oops, sorry about that. Our Bardic Inspiration, which adds a 8, potentially 8. So I'm gonna go the highest. So we're at 19 plus 8, which is 27. 28. No, 27. I was right. 27. And then we have 27 plus 5, 32. And then we have plus 5 again for our aura, for our charisma, which is 37, and potentially even 38 if you are allowed to do the 2 epic boons to get your charisma to 22, which is crazy. So yeah, I put the averages here for Flourish because technically it's only a plus 4 on average, but up to, you gotta up to that. But this is pretty much everything we said. AC breakdown, you look at all these saves options: plus 5, plus D4, plus 2D4, plus 4, and an auto succeed per short rest. Come on. This is the tankiest build you're going to get, with being able to do damage, potentially do damage due to Divine Smite, and being able to cause everyone to have advantage on the main target. This build is really good. And then on top of it, I probably didn't really mention this, but the Steed, once you get 4th level spell slots, which I think you get that around character level 12 or 11, maybe even 10, but multiclassing into a full spellcaster, you on your mount can then fly. You have a 120 foot fly speed pretty much, assuming that you make your horse dash. And then if you're worried that the horse is going to die, just use the 2nd level spell slot on Warding Bond, which basically gives your horse resistance to everything, so it should pretty much live. And then remember, your horse will also have plus 5 to all saves and whatnot, being next to you while you're on it. So, but yeah, this Genie build is super powerful. Expect it to get nerfed, but I just wanted to do a build on the current Genie Paladin that's out. It's really strong, and it's probably the best tank build in the game the way it's written right now. All right, that was a long video. A lot of talking. So sorry about that little noise earlier. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and join the Discord if you want this full the character sheet that for this build, and this full Word document that we just went through in the video. It'll all be for free in the Discord. All right, until next time.